Hey, it's MK, and I am here with a Scraptember layout for you guys today. And today our design is supposed to be on a diagonal or use diagonal elements in your layout. So I'm going to actually use both because I have some scraps that are in cut at a diagonal. I have some wood some chipboard from Dusty Attic, as well as these beeswax. I love this. So here is beeswax's information from Etsy and her website and all that good jazz. I'm also going to use another piece of chipboard from Dusty Attic. I have a couple little tiny word stickers put up there from Tim Holtz as well. I have some acrylic pieces from Pear Tree Cut Files. And then I had an eagle that was from my personal shop that is sublimated on a piece of acrylic. So it kind of goes with more acrylic. I got these awesome rippled leaves that are super cool and super textured from my good friend in Canada by Sarah. She is the owner of Scrapbook Addicts. And then I got these stone rub-ons from 49 and Market for my birthday from Janet. Thank you so much, Janet. I have these 3 pictures that I'm going to mount, double mount on this gray cardstock. So I'm going to use the light and the dark, but there for a minute I had to check to see if it even is light and dark. But once I double mount them, I can see that they are, even though I end up distressing the edges because that's what I am. Here are my 2 diagonal pieces. They are from my paper line that I had. I don't even know when I had it, but it went by fast, you guys. It did not stay in stock for very long. And then from the paper rose, I got this, I think it's called Forest Trek, because there's a mountain trek and a forest trek, and then there was another one too, a nature walk or something. But I'm going to cut out these tree rings from this paper. I'm also going to go and double matte my photos, and then I'm going to go and peel my acrylic. I am not going to make you guys watch me do that. But here, I couldn't tell if my video was shaking in the camera, and it is. So I cut this short because it is shaking like crazy, you guys. I do apologize, but I wanted to share with you guys that I took some Distress Oxide ink, and then I was curious if the Gelatos would rub on to a chipboard piece and not soak in, like the color would be gone, and it does not. So again, another reason why Gelatos are amazing to bring on a retreat instead of all of your inks. It's less of a footprint in your to-go bag, and it does all the things. It's watercolor, it's texture paste if you take a tub of texture paste. It could be paint if you take a bottle of gesso. It could be for your stencils, like an ink pad can, and it goes on your chipboard. It doesn't soak through. So I am just finding all sorts of reasons to bring Gelatos instead of my ink pads. I might permanently put the Gelatos in my go bag just because I don't really use them in real life, you guys. I do love that I was able to find uses for them and actually use some of them up, because I told you guys when I redid my scrap box that if I don't use them within the next year, I'm going to lose them. And so this was very, very enlightening to know that I could take all my Gelatos on a trip for less of a footprint and still get the exact same results as if I was to take all my ink pads. All right, so I forgot to turn the camera back on because, again, I'm having a blast at my retreat. And so I placed all of my wood grain on the diagonal to match the diagonal of my paper. And now I am just going to go ahead and glue them down. Some of them are getting popped up. Some of them are getting glued straight down. Some of them are not full circle wood tree round ring things. And so I am tucking them in and under and weaving and just making a good design with a gappy design, a good gappy design with my tree rings, because inside all the gaps, I want to put these rub-ons. Not all of them, because I don't need all of them, but I want to make it look like it's scattered on a diagonal throughout my layout. Now, I wanted to do a little bit of a different diagonal design instead of the plain Jane from corner to corner. I definitely wanted something different. When you think of diagonals, most people will take strips of paper and put them straight across on a diagonal from edge to edge, or they will take arrows and diagonal them or something. I've seen a lot of awesome diagonal designs, and I really wanted to do something a little different. And my inspiration came from my diagonal ripped paper that were just scraps already done on the diagonal for whatever reason of a layout that I did back, I want to say in April, because I think that's when I did this kit, or used my kit for Kit Conspiracy. So somehow, some reason, I already did a diagonal design. I just don't remember it. I've scrapbooked a lot since then. And so it was absolutely perfect to pull this little page kit that I made because the diagonal design was already there. Was it planned when I made my page kits? No, I'm not going to say that this was planned. It's just something that I made the page kits, and then as I came up to the prompts, I would go through, do I have something? Yes or no. If I didn't, I would go and do something different. If I did, excellent, because I already had the papers and photos picked out. I just needed to add a few embellishments. For my retreat, because all I brought were my scrappy page kits that I made, for my retreat, all I brought was the things that matched these page kits. So I brought a bunch of outdoorsy embellishments, not all of them, just a bunch. And then I also brought a couple of bright embellishments because I do have one page kit that is on the brighter side, but I don't think you'll see that one here. I think I ended up just doing all outdoorsy layouts. Sorry guys, it's my favorite thing to scrapbook. So if it gets boring, I do apologize. I try to change it up some, but I know it's not much. So these are more pictures of Misty Mountains. That's not what they're called. That's just what I'm calling my photos. Because as we are driving either from or to Washington, the different times of the day will bring this foggy, misty thing in that, in all honesty, I've only seen in Scotland. Because I get mist over my lake that is right across the street from my house, but it doesn't last very long. As soon as the sun peeks over the mountains, boom, the mist is gone. It's almost like it says, oh yeah, if you didn't catch me at sunrise, you didn't catch me at all. So I don't get to see this. And in Washington and Oregon, which I don't remember exactly where this particular stretch of the road was, it's like a constant for hours, and I couldn't get enough of it. So I have about 3 layouts of Misty Mountains because it's just beautiful. It's gorgeous. And like I said, the last time I saw something like this at various times of the day is in Scotland, where it seems to never go away. I'm just saying. So it's just, it was just beautiful, you guys, and things that I want to remember. Might not be your cup of tea, but they are things that I choose to remember on my ride. Now, I don't know if this is fog. I don't know if this is mist. I don't know if, it is just a haze. I don't know. And I definitely should have looked it up because I want to say this is my 3rd layout of these beautiful, the mist, not the mountains or the scenery or anything, but just the mist. And I'm not really sure, but I should have definitely looked it up to make sure that, I wasn't full of poo when I talk about stuff like this, because sometimes a mist is caused by the rain. And then, of course, the ground being hotter than the rain, it creates a mist that looks like the rain is frozen in the air, which is kind of the same thing as fog, except for fog likes to stay really low on the ground, and then you are driving through a blanket. Maybe they're the same thing. I'm just calling them different stuff. And like I said, I'm full of poo. Honestly, it really is. But fog, I thought, was created by the hot and the cold texture, and rain isn't actually a part of it. It is just the hot and the cold coming together, and then it creates a fog. And how dense it is how fast it got so cold. So anyways, I'm not really sure. Like I said, I should have looked it up, but I know you guys will look it up for me and let me know in the comments which one is which, and are they 2 different things? Is mist and fog the exact same thing, just 2 different ways to call it? I'm not sure. I don't know. But I will look it up after, and I can't wait to hear the comments either. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I cut out bits and pieces of my rub-on. Again, I was not aware that my camera was shaky. You guys, I had no idea that my camera was shaking, especially this bad. So for me to hook up on this particular table that I am residing at for the next couple days, I had to bring in my really uber old, I didn't even know I still had it. It's a little table that my daughter duct taped together. It's so cute. It's a wire rack that the legs fold in and it lays flat when you travel. However, my daughter duct taped it to make it more stable for my Cricut back in the day when I used to take my big Cricut on these retreats with me. Oh, morning coffee. I must be all by my lonesome this morning. I usually have my coffee first thing in the morning, not to squirrel on a story, but I usually have my coffee first thing in the morning before everybody else is awake at this retreat. And so because I'm drinking coffee, nobody must be awake yet. Okay, so again, my daughter made this little, she wrapped it in duct tape to make it a little bit more sturdier for my machine when I traveled. But when she duct taped it, she didn't leave any room for the legs to fold in. So I keep it standing up, the legs going down, and it fits perfectly over my 31 bag that I don't even know what kind of bag it is, but it fits perfectly like a topper on top of my 31 bag, giving it a lid that is hard and I can actually stack things on top of this bag instead of before it had a soft bag and everything would sag into the bag. So anyways, that is what my camera is attached to, is this wire rack. And when I shook the table, I thought the table was sturdy enough to where every time I looked up, it didn't look like it was moving. So I don't know. And I do apologize for the shimmy and the shake, especially throughout this video. And then I think there's a couple other videos that have the shake as well. So I apologize, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to bring in, now I have another funny little story for you guys. I picked some of these products based off of a mixed media recipe because today is Friday and it was supposed to be Mixed Media Mayhem. However, I'm also working ahead trying to, go me. But this is why I struggle working ahead, because then I get confused. So this recipe that I was going off of is actually for October. Yes. So I picked out some of these elements based off of that recipe, thinking, I'm the bomb. I got Mixed Media Mayhem in this, as well as Scraptember. Man, look at me go. And then I went to go and edit the video and put in the recipe and realized that we didn't have recipes this month. We had inspiration layouts, which I'm sorry I ignored. And so, yeah, this is not a Mixed Media Mayhem recipe for you guys. I apologize. But I'll get it in September or in October. You'll see it again because I do love the little elements, but it did end up looking really well. I love my little wax seals that are from Beeswax. It's an Etsy shop that I found on Etsy. That actually I found through Instagram, a reel on Instagram, and found her over there, and she does all these really cool outdoorsy outdoorsy wax seals. If she is still open, because the last time I tried to link her shop, she was not open. But if she is, I will put the link down below. If she is not, there will be no link. I do apologize. So, but they are fabulous. She puts paper behind them and it's just really, and then she does clear and then the gold on top. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I got a couple sets from her and I'm glad I did before she left. Okay. So the last thing I'm going to add to this layout is my tiny little word stickers. I absolutely finally found phrases that really didn't make any sense, but still made sense. So like I've got because memories. Like, why would you take this random road trip for 2 days, 13 hours both ways? You know, why would you do this? Well, because the memories, right? And then I've got soulful journey. Oh my God. And then of course, travel with friends, because by the time I went up there with me and my girlfriend in one car, her daughter and her son in another car, her daughter and her daughter's son in another car. And then on our way back, it was again, the 2 vehicles plus another vehicle and then a third vehicle. So we had lots and lots of people. You know, we had her mom, her brother, her sister-in-law, lots of people caravanning with us on the way back. So it was a great journey. And these little stickers combined together finally make sense to me. And it's like, oh, maybe I can do this with all the stickers, because I try, you guys, and the words never seem to be there. So these ones just popped out like they belonged for this layout. It was amazing. All right, you guys, don't forget to check out the links that I have down below for Scraptember. They are the same as usual, a playlist and a Facebook group link in case you want to go and check out other prompts for Scraptember, because again, they're great. They're great little prompts to jumpstart a layout or things that you might forget to put on your layout. So they're really great prompts. All right, again, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I always love it when you guys hang out with me, and I will check you guys all later. Bye.